YouTube, we're back, baby. We are back. And from the footage that you would have just seen, we just hit our first run in 13 weeks. That's right, we've been sidelined, we've been given our body time to recover from injury, and we've also had these brand new trainers catching dust until we were in a position to use them again. And that day came today. And I was so ecstatic and excited that after 13 weeks, I was able to get 3 kilometers on the treadmill. But I'm not going to go into a big spiel about my injury and what it took. What I am going to talk about today is the one key thing that being sidelined, being out of action, and of course being injured taught me. And I hope that if somebody is dealing with their injury, they can listen to this message and just see the light and do what is required so they can get back to what they love. So one of the biggest lessons that, I've really learned through this running hiatus and this time away is the art of patience. I always kind of had patience, but it was truly tested during this break. And I think that we live in a society today where everyone wants everything instantaneously, and it just does not work that way. And especially when it comes to your body and your health, and of course, returning from injury, you have to learn how to be patient. You have to try and occupy your mind with other things that takes and settles that itch. Whenever you find it coming to the surface, that you want to go and do that thing that you're not allowed or not supposed to do, like you've got to find another way of managing that and dealing with that. And like I said, for me, it was all about choosing a different method of training and just making sure that I gave the same time and I gave the same effort to those training sessions, and it helped. But patience was the one thing that, I really needed to nail. And it was the thing that I come out of this and I'm proud of the development that I've done in that area, because I do think now going forward, if this was to happen again, I'm more equipped. I am more patient. I've got the tools. I know how to handle it. I know how to deal with it. So I think that's probably the biggest lesson, the biggest takeaway that I've actually made from this whole experience. Nobody talks about the resilience and the mental toughness that you need to try and get yourself to in order to be able to handle something like this. Because for me personally, running wasn't just exercise. Running was a place for me to relieve a lot of stress. It rejuvenated my energy. It settled my mood. It really helped me, balance my overall lifestyle with work. It helped me be creative. It was a place to escape. And I'd always come out from a run feeling so much better within myself once it'd been completed. So to have that kind of taken away and to try and find another outlet for trying to achieve those emotions and those endorphins were extremely difficult, but we managed it. We found workarounds, and I actually got stuck into a different style of training, which involved a lot of, rowing, skiing, biking. I bought a spin bike as well, which has been majorly useful just to try and keep that same volume and endurance in the legs, but minimizing the risk and the impact. And that has been a bit of a godsend. So patience is always going to be key when you're going through this. And I think the more that we can breed that in a lot of areas of our life, the more success that we're actually going to have. So all I can say is I'm just super, super happy to be able to have run those 3K. And now the game plan for me is very, very simple. I spend the next 2 weeks just getting comfortable with those mechanics of running again, because I'm not gonna lie, that session, it hurt in so many areas, but that's because again, I was getting used to those running patterns. So the hips, the knees, the ankles, the calves, came away from the session after 3K in worse position than what I did when I ran an ultra marathon at 55K. But that just goes to show, how your body changes and how things settle down again. So I'm kind of relearning to run again and to learn how to, run well and run efficiently. So the goal for the next 2 weeks is to just start small, be consistent for 2 or 3 days at 3 kilometers, then see how we recover from that run, see how the body feels, and then go again, and then slowly build the volume back up. So we test it on the treadmill, we test it on the roads, and then hopefully come the 16th of February, I'm in a position then to be able to start a full prep for my next event. But I'm not going to talk about that in this particular video. I'll save that for the future. So we're here, the return of the Mac, and I cannot wait to get started on my goals for 2026. And I just wanted to share with you the video, the reality, the comeback, and to just let you know that patience is key. So if you're going through injury right now, just trust me when I say you will get there. It just takes time. Stick to the plan, stick to the rehab, and do the work required so that you can get back to doing what you love and enjoy. So if you've enjoyed the video, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.